You're watching NFL Daily, and on today's show, I got 3 trade ideas around Deshaun Watson, Gardner Minshew, and Nick Foles. But I wouldn't be able to do today's show without Magic Spoon. Shout out to these guys for hooking us up with the $5 off your very first order of healthy tasting cereal. How do you get the hookup? Go to magicspoon.com/chat, and as soon as I get done filming, I'm going to go eat a little bit, so I want you guys to go down in the comments. Let me know what cereal would you pick. Would you go with the cocoa? It's kind of the one I'm leaning towards. Would you go peanut butter? Heck, you could even mix cocoa and peanut butter together, or should I just get with the frosted? Let me know down in the comments which bowl of cereal I should eat. So coming up here again is 3 quarterbacks who could potentially be traded. We're going to give you a trade idea. I'm going to tell you whether or not I would make the deal, and a lot more brand new trade rumors around 3 very popular quarterbacks. Are the Houston Texans going to be trading star quarterback Deshaun Watson to the Philadelphia Eagles? The latest report is that Philly is actually a team that is still interested in Watson. The reason why this just continues to be a story is when you have somebody that's as talented as this young man here, a lot of teams are going to be interested. But then you also have 22 cases against them. So even though that Houston and even though that Watson have been in a weird situation, the Eagles have still kind of shown that, you know what, if we can pull the trigger, we might go ahead and do so. So when you look at the 3 quarterbacks that played for Philly this past week, I thought Joe Flacco looked okay, but don't let the stats fool you. He had a 79-yard touchdown pass because Quez Watkins just put on the Jets and took it to the house. I have never been the biggest Jalen Hurts fan. He was 3 of 7 for 54 yards. And then Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins was bad, y'all. 4 yards, 2 picks, 1 of 5. I don't got to tell you, that's not very good. But when you look at here the quarterback depth chart for Houston, one of the things that they did this offseason was they tried to prepare for life after Deshaun. I mean, you went out, you signed Tyrod Taylor, you just recently signed Jeff Driscoll, and then you also drafted David Mills in the 3rd round. That was your first pick of this past year's draft. So, they're already starting to show. Plus, Watson has been starting to show a little bit more and more frustration. Last week, there was a video that went viral on social media of the Texans media department filming Watson, and he was basically just like, why are y'all always filming me every day? You could see that he's just upset, and I can imagine, he wants to go out there, he wants to play, he knows he's an amazing football player, but there's so much other crap going on outside of football, and I believe that football probably is his way that he gets away from some of this stuff. But not only on top of that, he doesn't want to play in Houston. He has said multiple times that he doesn't want to be there. There was a report last week from a Texans insider that was like, he's never going to play for the Texans again. And I believe right now the top team trending to go out and potentially trade for Watson is actually the Philadelphia Eagles that have shown interest in him in before. So be the GM here. What do y'all think? Will the Texans trade Watson? I want you to go down in the comments and type T for trade, or I want you to go down in the comments and type K for keep. Please go ahead, let me know. I would be a bad host here on the show if I didn't give you some sort of trade idea. Now, if there was no allegations against Watson, this would be an absolute steal for the Houston Texans, or absolute steal for the Philadelphia Eagles, excuse me. But the fact that the Eagles could get Watson, 2 first-round picks, and then defensive end Josh Sweat, let me know down in those comments who would win this trade here. If you believe it's Houston, I want you to go ahead and type the Texans. Again, 2 first-round picks and Josh Sweat. Or if you think it's the Philadelphia Eagles, I want you to go ahead and type EAGLES down there in those comments. That's what we do here at Chat Sports. Who do y'all think wins this trade idea, Deshaun Watson heading to Philly? Imagine a bowl of cereal that's only 140 calories. Only, 0 grams of sugar per bowl. Only 4 grams of net carbs. And I'm talking about 13 to 14 grams of protein per bowl. You don't have to imagine it. It exists, y'all. Remember all the cereal you ate as a kid? Imagine it being healthy for you. $5 off the best tasting, most healthy cereal on the market. How do you get it? Look down there below at the screen. magicspoon.com/chat. So again, it's magicspoon.com/chat. That link is going to be available for y'all in the comments. It's also going to be available for y'all in the description as well. The reason why I'm really proud of this stuff, I've been eating this cereal for about 3 years, and I have a major sweet tooth if you know me, but I I don't know. I'm trying to lose a few LBs, and that's maybe something that I'm okay expressing to you guys because I think the thing we have here at Chat Sports is a very good relationship. But the fact that I have a sweet tooth, the fact that I'm trying to lose some weight, and the fact that I'm still able to eat cereal on a daily basis, and when I tell you I eat it on a daily basis, I swear to you, I do, but it is a healthy cereal, which is the big-time difference here. Plus, is anybody out there maybe struggling with acne? I know when I was in middle school, high school, I'm a 28-year-old man, and I still have a few random breakouts. If it wasn't for makeup, you'd be able to see that bad boy right there. But this stuff is also a lot healthier, and since there isn't any sugar in it, you're not going to have those random breakouts. Plus, they have so many different kinds of flavors that taste amazing. The only one that I haven't tried yet is the maple waffle. Cinnamon tastes just like all the awesome cereal that you had that was cinnamon brand. The blueberry, the berry, remember the Captain Crunch brand that was like the Berry Blast, I think is what it was called, or something like that? That's what the Magic Spoon stuff offers. So, great tasting cereal. It's available to you guys at magicspoon.com/chat. Could the New York Jets go out and trade for Gardner Minshew? Well, there's been multiple reports that the Jets have been looking at some extra quarterback talent, and there's now a new report out there that the Jets could go out and actually trade for backup quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Gardner Minshew. So I'll say this right now. If the Jets are able to pull this off, Minshew is the second best quarterback on that roster. I don't care what anybody else says. He's the second best quarterback on that roster. Now, does that give him the ability to start right away? Obviously not. They drafted Zach Wilson. He's going to be the backup again. The only reason why all these Minshew trade rumors have been swirling since the NFL draft is because they went out and drafted Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall, who's a much more of a surefire thing than Zach Wilson, who was drafted number 2 overall. But in terms of the quarterbacks in the first preseason game, yeah, Mike White, 13-19, 127 yards, no touchdowns. Thought that he looked okay. Zach Wilson, 6-9, nice, 63 yards, no touchdowns. But I know Robert Saleh and the entire Jets coaching staff was very impressed by their young rookie, and he is going to be the future of that team. And then James Morgan, 5-9, 45 yards. The reason, though, that it's kind of interesting is because, yes, he also went out and got Josh Johnson. He's a journeyman quarterback. But if I was Gardner Minshew, I would actually like this chance because when you look at all the other quarterbacks that flamed out in New York, this could actually give you an opportunity to play in the Big Apple. So when you look at some of these Jags quarterbacks the first preseason game, realistically, the only one that I actually thought didn't play very well was, in fact, Gardner Minshew. So if you're the Jets, you go out, you see, okay, there's been all these trade rumors around him. You know that they have Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence also did struggle a little bit as well. I know it's 6-9, 71 yards, but there was a few throws that he missed. I wasn't ultimately that impressed with him either. But maybe this is your opportunity now where you could buy low on Minshew. You're like, all right, he's coming off a game. Didn't play that well. Probably the worst quarterback on that team in terms of overall production in that first preseason game. But he also has some playing experience. So, go ahead, maybe make the deal, because Gardner does have some pretty good ties, at least in terms of the regular season. So what do y'all think? Should the Jets go out and trade for Gardner Minshew? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. My job here at Chat Sports is to be able to talk about the top trending topics around each team and get you guys to go down in the comments and let me know. Because as much as I love talking about sports, I want to be able to talk about sports with as many people as humanly possible. Imagine we're at a bar. Imagine we're sitting somewhere talking. That's what I want. So Y for yes or N for no. Here's my trade idea. The New York Jets, they get Gardner Minshew. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they get a 2022 fifth-round pick. The reason why I think that New York would be okay giving up a fifth-rounder is because they have 2 of them. So they already have 2 fifth-round picks, so give up a fifth, get an extra backup quarterback. You can probably then get rid of some of your other backups to save a few extra dollars and cents. So out of the 2 teams here for this trade idea, what do y'all think? Who ultimately wins this deal? If you believe it's the New York Jets, go down in the comments and type Jets. And it is very important to type what I'm looking for. That way I know if you guys are watching or not. If you think the Jaguars win this deal, I want you to go down in the comments, type Jaguars. If you think both teams win, hell, shit. Go ahead, type both. Now, we are trying to get a little bit more love on Facebook. So what I want you guys to do is anytime I make a trade video, I like when people talk about it on Facebook because Facebook's like the app my mom uses where she'll just send me the most random stuff. Like, did you see this crazy story about this man in Florida? I'm like, Mom, get off Facebook, all right? It's not good for that kind of stuff. But it's amazing for sports topic and creating discussion. So if you made it this far in the video, please do me a favor. I want you to talk about one of the trades that we broke down on today's show. So how do you do it? You click the share button underneath this video, click select Facebook icon, and then click post to Facebook. Then you can share this video, and then you can share it with all your friends. I'm curious what you guys have to say to each other. The last story coming up here is around Nick Foles potentially going to the Baltimore Ravens. So news broke today, or I guess I should say Monday, that Trace McSorley is going to be out for the rest of the preseason. He's dealing with a back injury. The reason why that's notable is because right now the only backup to Lamar Jackson is Tyler Huntley. And Lamar Jackson hasn't been practicing due to some COVID issues. Plus, Foles is the third quarterback on the Chicago depth chart. And in terms of overall players, I like Trace McSorley when he's at Penn State. He's like one of those perfect college type of quarterbacks. But let's face it, he's not a very good NFL quarterback. He was 11 of 18 for 86 yards, no touchdown, 1 interception the first preseason game against the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Huntley, on the other hand, 12 of 16, 79 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And then you also got to remember the other backup quarterback to Lamar Jackson, well, he now works at ESPN, RG3. He's not there. So, you still need a reliable backup. And if I'm looking for a reliable backup, Nick Foles, to me, is probably one of the top options out there. Not because of his playoff experience, not because of all the teams that he's played with, but he's also the third-string quarterback on his current team. If you're a third-string quarterback, that means I can get you at an even cheaper type of value. And if Foles would be the second-best quarterback behind Lamar, and the Ravens are a team that they want to be able to run the ball first. They want a quarterback that's not going to try to turn the ball over, and when it comes to these clutch situations, you need somebody who remains cool. That's exactly what Nick Foles is. So even though he didn't play all that much in the first preseason game, I think he'd be a good fit in Baltimore. I really believe that even for him trying to achieve another goal of going to the playoffs, making another playoff run, he would be able to do that in Baltimore because they're not going to rely on him. They're still going to go ahead and rely on that running game, and they're going to rely on the defense to be able to step up and make some plays. So what do y'all think here about this deal? The Ravens, they get Nick Foles. The Bears receive a 2023 fifth-round pick. So go down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I wanted to make all the trades a little bit different. So the Bears, they get a 2023 fifth-round pick. The Ravens, they go ahead and get Nick Foles. So who wins this deal here, y'all? Type Ravens down in the comments if you believe it's Baltimore. If you think it's the Chicago Bears, go ahead and type Bears. If there's another deal that you think would be, better for both sides, make a little bit more sense, please let me know. That's what these shows here are all about. So if you haven't already subscribed to Chat Sports, I would appreciate it if you did. We got live videos literally multiple times a week. I'm going to be live on Wednesday breaking down the latest NFL news and rumors. I'm really excited about that. But we also have shows coming out all the time, and we're interactive. So the way that we keep our lights on here is by keeping free videos. All we ask that you do is subscribe. So we talked about 3 quarterbacks here on today's show. Deshaun Watson, Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew. I'm a betting man. So if you had to put your chips on one pile, who's going to be the first quarterback that's traded? If you think it's Deshaun Watson, I want you to type DW. If you believe it's Nick Foles, NF. Gardner Minshew, GM. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to NF because I love his music, but I also think that Foles is the first quarterback traded.